So we're doing a Air Canada reservation right now. So, okay, no flights found. So go back to modify search. And if it won't give it to you as a round trip, let me just look at it and see if I see any mistakes. 83, 824, SN 502, SN 277. Okay, and on Air Canada, was it for sure to JFK? Let's make sure that we got the right airport. Okay, it's to JFK and from JFK. Okay, so let's go back to Matrix now. And if it won't give it to you as a round trip, then just change it to one way and see if you can get the Turkish Air by itself. And then hit go down at the bottom. Hit search. And see if it'll give it to you as a one way. Okay, now notice that here in the duration, some of these are 30 hours, 54 hours, 78 hours. So what you normally do is hit the duration button to make sure that the shortest one's at the top. And usually and then close it with this X right here. Usually it's the shortest one that you want that matches what you got from the website. So we're going to click this 2283 so we can go look at it better. Or that's good. You can click details over there and look at it, make sure it's the right one first. So it's got the 12-hour layover. It's got the August 3rd and 4th date. It's got the flight numbers. So this is the right one. So hit the price, and that'll bring you to what we call the pretty flights. When you're at the pretty flights, you click right below the word itinerary. Go up to the top for a minute. Okay, you click right below the word itinerary, below this black line, not on the black line, but below it. Okay, wait, let me show you how I want you to do this. It's different than what you just did. So click right below this black line. You just click there once and nothing will happen.
Okay.
And then hold your shift key and then click at the bottom here. And it highlights the whole thing really nicely. So then you hit Control-C to copy it. And there's a reason why I have you do it that way instead of painting it like you did the first time. But suffice to say, just do it that way. Okay, so hit the itinerary, paste it in there, and then save it. Don't modify the size, don't change anything, just save it. Okay, and then after you save it, you get rid of these symbols because they help to send you the spam. And then you also put the word class after business. And if this accidentally said first class or economy, you need to change it to match what the website said, what the Air Canada website said. So you don't go by what Matrix says, you go by what Air Canada says. If Air Canada says it's first class, then it is. If Air Canada says it's business class, then it is. If Air Canada says that one of the short flights is economy, then it is. No matter what Matrix says, you change this to equal what the Air Canada website says. Okay, and then you go to Seat Guru and see if any of these are flatbeds. So on a new tab, go up to Seat Guru and put in the flight numbers. And you click on Find Seat Maps, put TK 630 there. Oh,
TK 11.
Yeah, but there's another one, TK 630.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so,
hours.
Yeah, you would check that one too.
Okay.
TK 630, and it's on August 3rd. The only ones you don't check are if they're like 2 hours, you know, but anything. Okay, August 3rd and go. Then you click on the view map there, and then you go to the far right at the top. And it says business class is a recliner seat. So that's nothing to brag about, so you're not even going to mention it. So just skip that one. Go look up the other one that you were going to look up. You can put recliner seat if you want to, you know, just if you want to inform them what it is. But I usually just leave business class if it's not a flatbed. And then this one you're going to hit view map. And this one says that it's flatbed. So you'd call this, oh, this is 177 degrees. Yeah. So it's not completely 180 degrees. So we better say that, flatbed 177 degrees. And I'll show you how to do that. So hit enter first, then flatbed, then type 177, And then instead of writing out the word degrees, let's see if your computer will put the little 0 there. And that's, you hold down the Alt key and you hit 0176 really fast right in front of that D.
Yes, we actually tried this one before, but it doesn't work.
Doesn't work on your computer?
Yes.
Okay, so then you're going to have to type out 177 degrees. So that's fine. Okay, so now hit save. And now we're going to go try and get the return flights separately. So go back to matrix and hit modify search, and then hit the reverse button, reverse route, and then change it to SN 502, is it?
Yes.
SN 277. Okay, and then change your date to August 24. Okay, and hit search. Let's see if it'll find it. Okay, notice how it wouldn't give it to you as a round trip, but when you did it as one ways, it worked okay. So you'll just have to, okay, hit details, make sure it's the right ones with the right layover, and it is. As the 2-hour layover, it doesn't have like a 24-hour layover or something. So hit the price of it. And this one, click right below the black line, then hold the shift, and then click down here. The reason you do it that way is that it's faster, frankly, after you get used to it. Okay, then hit Control C, and then click over here to the right of this one, and see that black line that shows up right here? As soon as you see that black line, just hit the Enter key. And that automatically puts you where you belong, and then you just paste it in and then hit save. Don't try and stretch it out to make it the right size. Save it first, because it stretches out automatically. And get rid of the movies and all of that. Put the word class in there. And this one, better go look it up and see what it is on both of these. So it's SN 502 in Seat Guru. SN 502 on 24 of August. And view map. And this one is flatbed. So you can put flatbed 180 degrees if you want, because you put 177 on the other one, so you might as well be consistent. Put flatbed 180 degrees, and then go. This one's a 6-hour flight. Let's go see what it is. So it's SN 277 in the Seat Guru. That's on August 25th at that point, probably. Try August 25th. So it's an Airbus A330. So click on that one. Oh, click this one. It told you that that's what kind of plane it is over on the Air Canada website. And that one's also a flatbed. So go in there and put that flatbed 180 degrees. And if you want to, you can put recliner seat here if you want, just so that they wonder, well, how come you didn't name that one? You know, you can hit enter and put recliner seat if you want. Okay, and then hit save. That way all 4 of them are described, you know. Okay, so you have all the flights in there. And so now the financial info, let's see, go back to the award calc. And we don't really know how much this one sells for, because we were not able to put it in matrix as a round trip. But you know that it sells for a lot more than this, because one of those flights was $6,000 that was just one way. So I would say just leave this at 400. Now, if you want to, you can add like $50, put 450, because see, if it's 2830, what do they care if it's 2830 or 2880? You know what I mean? So you could make it 450 if you want, or even 460 to make it 2895. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So,
how much part can we go for the gross profit?
What?
how far can we go for the gross profit?
You want to
What's the max?
usually you want to stay around 400 or, less than 500.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason I'm increasing it is because they won't really notice that it's 28, put 460 there. They're not really going to notice that it's 2890 instead of 2830, you know what I mean? It's still 28 something in their minds. Click over here in the white area to make it calculate. And so I like to kind of bring it up so it's 28.95 or something like that. Now it's okay. The lowest you can go is $101 US, and there's no limit on how high you can go. But there's really no reason to go much above maybe 600 at the maximum. So it's usually between like 110 up to 600, and the average is around 4 something. Okay. So usually you want to stay around 400 and then make this 28.95 or something like that. And if it was the other way, you could also go 360. It's fine to be 360, 400, 450, 460, anywhere in there, whatever you feel that that'll sound good for the customer. But this one we have plenty of room because it sells for about $6,000. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Okay, so once you have that adjusted how you want it, you click this middle one that says Export XML at the bottom. Click that middle blue one, and then you copy what's in this white box here. You click in here, hit Control A to make it all highlighted, then hit Control C to copy it. Then you go to your quote, and you go to the itinerary. Oh yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. You go to financial info, and what you did, in case somebody missed that, is you went to financial info and you click this button right here, and then you're pasting it in up here in this box, and then you hit OK. Okay, now we still need to put in the retail price, and since we don't know what it is because Matrix didn't tell us, we're going to have to just guess. So put like 6,000 there, because I know even just one way was about 6,000. Then this, you change it first to something strange that you do not want, like Japanese whatever. And then you change it to what you do want. Now notice what you do want is wherever the trip is beginning. So this trip is beginning in Accra, Ghana, and I don't think we have any Accra, Ghana on this list. So you don't know what currency to use. So first change it to something you do not want, like Japanese yen, let's say, and then change it to dollars. Even though it started out on dollars, you cannot just leave it on dollars. You have to change it to something you do not want first and then change it to dollars, even if it was already on dollars, okay? So just for practice, change this to something you do not want first, like Japanese yen. Okay, and click it, and then change it back to dollars. The reason you have to change it away from dollars or away from what you want and then back to what you want is so that it'll for sure calculate properly down here. Otherwise, if you don't change it to something else and then change it to dollars, it doesn't refresh itself. It doesn't calculate. So you can end up with the wrong answer down here if you just left it on dollars because it was already there, or maybe you changed it immediately to Australian dollars instead of to something else first. So you don't change it to immediately what you want. You change it to something you do not want first, like Japanese yen, and then change it to Australian dollars if that's what you want. Or change it to Japanese yen and then change it to US dollars if that's what you want. Even if it started on US dollars, you still have to change it to something else and then back to dollars, okay? So these are both in dollars because we don't know what currency they use in Ghana, and besides that, we don't have it on this list over here as a choice. Okay, so just for education, this thing down here is called the math line. And if you wanted to, you can, like if you look at somebody else's quote and you wonder how they made it, it tells you right here. They used 150,000 Air Canada miles. They used the taxes are right here. The selling price is right here, SP. The GP is 460. So write down the GP because you're going to need to know what that is later, 460. And so go down and hit save. After you do everything, you always hit save. Okay, and now we're done. Well, let's see. Did we put those other flights in the itinerary? I don't remember.
Yeah, we already did. Yeah.
Okay, so we have all the flights in there, and we have the financial info in there. So now we're ready to send it. And when you send it, go down to quote send. And when you see this complicated screen with all these percentages, you do nothing. Don't change this, don't touch it, but instead go down here to preview and send that one. And when this pops up, if you can't find this, like you go check something and you can't find it, it'll be, if you point to Chrome, you'll see that this is an extra Chrome window that's open. So let's say you lost track of this, you could go down here and point to Chrome, and you'll see that it's one of the choices that you can click on if you lose track of it. See, it's right there. And so it's just one of your Chrome windows that are open. Like, let's say you go look at something. Oh, what happened to it? Where did it go? See, like right now, you don't have it showing. So the way you get back to it is you don't hit preview and send again, but you just point to Chrome, and it'll be right here, just to click it right here. So go back and click the right one. This is the wrong one because this is the complicated one. You have to click.
Yep.
You have to click the right one, which is the one over here. See, now this is the right one because it's not the complicated one. It doesn't have all those percentage symbols and stuff. So this is the right one that you're actually sending. So if you get confused, you just point to Chrome down here and keep choosing the one until you see the one that's not complicated. When I say complicated, see all these percentages and stuff? I call this the complicated one. This is not the one you send, and you don't hit send again. You just go to the one that you already have open, okay? And when you have one open ready to send, there's 3 things you have to do to it before you send it. Remember, make sure it's not the complicated one. Make sure you don't see a bunch of percentage symbols. You just see a normal looking one. So you change the subject line and you copy the US dollar price, and do not put a $ and no commas, and spell out dollars, and then you can just put business class or some description there. Okay, so the first thing you do is fix the subject line with the US dollar price in it and spell out the word dollars, and then just put business class if that's what it is. If it's mixed, then you put mixed. This is all business class. Then the second thing you do is go get that paragraph that each of you will have saved on your computer to insert after the word savings. And that's this paragraph that she just inserted right here. Okay, and then the third thing you do is slide to the very bottom and put in your code. Your code, first of all, to get to the right place, you click in this white area to the right of the signature, and then you just hit enter. Click in the white area, then hit enter. Then you put the first part of your company email, your company login, and then a hyphen, and then how many seats you search for. You searched for 1 seat, so you put a 1 there. Then another hyphen, and then the GP we used was 460. And for the 0, you use a G. So 46G means 460. That's the GP. Okay, so that's ready to go. You just slide up to the top, make sure you did all 3 things, and then click send, and you're done. Now, after you click send, just stop and don't click anything. Just click send and then stop and don't click anything. Just wait a minute. Okay, and notice how it has a pop-up here that says it has been sent successfully, so that's good. So you hit close, but still don't close this window for a minute. I want to show you something. Let's say that you sent this and then you answered the phone, or you went to the kitchen and you came back and you're not sure if you actually sent this. You've got it on your screen, but you're not sure if you sent it. If you're not sure if you sent it, don't send it again, but instead close it with the red X at the top. If you're not sure you sent it, don't send it again. Close it with the red X. Okay, after you close it with the red X, then you'll be back at the complicated screen, and don't do anything there, but instead, you never do anything to the complicated screen. Never touch this. The one that has all these percentages, you never touch it, you never do anything with it. So you're back to the complicated screen. Slide to the top of your screen, and then hit the F5 refresh button, or you can click refresh up on your, and if it automatically changes to sent, then you know that you sent it. You know, okay, I wasn't sure if I sent it, but if I come back here and hit refresh, now I know for sure I did send it, because it changed to the word sent automatically by itself when you refreshed your page. Okay, so this one's completely done. And so what you want to do is go back to your request workflow checklist and change it from working to, you know, completed or sent. Go down and double click it, and then change that to the word sent, and then check this completed box and hit submit, and just go on to the next one. So that's a complete quote from start to finish on Air Canada. Does that answer the question where you were stuck, Roxanne?
Yes. Thank you
Okay.
very much.
So whatever it was, we covered it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So who else needs some help on doing one of these? Somebody that has a login that needs help, that's getting stuck on trying to do your first, 10 quotes or whatever. Let's see. What about you, Cedric? Are you getting stuck anywhere? I'm not sure if he's here. If you're here, Cedric, let us know if you're getting stuck anywhere. Let me check his Skype and see if he said something to me in Skype that I need to answer in this meeting. So give me a second. I'm not sure if you're watching, listening, Cedric. You're watching, listening. Is there anything you have a question on? Okay, so it says I'm good. Okay, so let's talk about anybody else. Anybody else have a question that's getting stuck? This would be for somebody who has a log on but's getting stuck. By the way, Mar, did they fix your internet, or did they say that they're going to fix it?
They're going to be here tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
Okay, they're going to come and see what's wrong?
Yeah, because they did the test from the main office, and it was the same thing.
It was slow, and it's supposed to be more like 100, right?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, so something's wrong. Okay.
Excuse me, Donald. I have one more question.
Okay.
Yes. For example, for this one, we have just worked on like we can see that there were already 2 quotes created, and then do we have to bid the price? Like for example, they have the amount of 3,000, 4,000. So the best is we can go lower. Is it correct?
Wait a second. Say that again. I didn't quite understand.
All right. Yeah. I have my screen shared.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Here's the one you sent.
Yeah.
Somebody else sent one for 4,000. Somebody else sent one for 3,000.
Yes. So just for example, I have not created a quote yet. So we will just disregard the 2,000, the one I have created. So what we're gonna do is to beat the price of 3,000 and 4,000 if we have to make a new quote.
No, you don't have to pay attention to the other prices when you make your new quote.
Okay.
It's okay if you're cheaper. It's okay if you're more expensive. You're not trying to do it for the same price as these others. Mm-hmm. The one that am I correct? The one we just did is the one that's $28.93?
Yes.
Well, yeah, it is, because here's your 460 GP. So I think your question is, do we care if your quote is a different price than the other quotes?
Yes, if it's higher or lower.
We don't care.
Okay.
As long as you see, his GP was only 300 here, and yet the selling price was 3,300. This GP was 550, and his selling price was higher. But the reason that he chooses a higher price is because, frankly, Cathay Pacific is a nicer airline than what you sent. You sent Turkish Air, and Turkish Air sitting around in the airport in Turkey for 12 hours is not as nice as taking one of these others on Cathay Pacific, which is a nicer airline. It's a 5-star airline. So chances are they'd rather pay $3,300 for Cathay than they would pay $2,800 for Turkish Air. Yours had 2 disadvantages. First of all, Turkish Air is not as good as Cathay Pacific. And secondly, if I remember right, yours had a 12-hour layover in Istanbul, which is not nice. So probably the one the customer is going to buy is this one, because it's a much nicer airline and it probably doesn't have as long of a layover. Okay. And he's doing CX, that's Asia miles, and he's probably flying on Cathay Pacific. Hit edit. Let's go look and see. Okay, so it's on British Air still, but he's using Asia miles. He's using CX, which is Asia miles, but Asia miles has a partner, British Air, so he got the flights on British Air. But if you look at his math line, go to his math line right here, financial info, it probably says that he's using CX miles, which is Asia miles. See this CX right here? He could use British Air miles, but he's using CX just because he's concentrating on Asia miles, you know. And so again, because it's going from Accra, he couldn't use Ghana currency, so he used U.S. currency. He put a comparison price of $41.96, and this is the price he's selling it for. So, you know, he did that right. When you look at his itinerary, everything's good in here. One thing that I've got to teach him, though, is that I don't think he put in the request. Go to the request workflow checklist. I doubt that he filled in that he worked on CX already. So click on CX Biz, double click it. And what he should have done, you can do it for him. Change it to his name, Medj.
What's that?
MEJ. Yeah, MEJ, yeah. And then put completed and put sent and then submit. he should have done that. And it's okay if you do it for him if you know for sure that that's what happened. You know for sure because we just looked at it. The math line was CX, it was business class, and it's sent. And that he really should do that. I'll have to train him. He really should do that because that helps you to know not to bother with it. However, the fact that it's here already told you that anyway. So it's like double redundant. It's like telling you twice, which is probably why he's not taking the time to put it here, because he knows that you can see it up here anyway. Because we already knew it was CX before we even opened it. That's why you put it up here. In case somebody forgets to put it down here, it's already in both places. You see what I mean? But it's nicer to do it in both places. But it really didn't hurt us because we saw when we first looked at it that it was CX. It says it right here. Okay, so any other question?
No. Thank you for that.
So yeah, it doesn't matter if you're cheaper or more than the other quotes because there's always a reason. If it's cheaper, it's probably not as nice of an airline or it has a longer layover. Or if it's better and it's cheaper, that's okay. They'll just buy it. That's fine. And as you can see, the GP could be 300, it could be 400, it could be 500, whatever you think is appropriate. You're the one that picks the selling price. Okay. Okay. So who else has a login but has questions? You have a way to log in and you have questions. Okay, and is there anybody who needs the link so that they can get a login? Let me make sure that I've given you that. Let's see, where is it? I'm looking for my link. Training available. Where's the link for the login? Well, okay, I'll just go make one, I guess. Okay, so we're going to make a link for the login. All it is agent dot first class discount air, except for at the end it's what I think it's staff, isn't it? Let me think. Does somebody have the login? They can. Let me see. Figure out how to make the link. Just a minute. Maybe this is it. Yeah, this is it.
Agent dot first class.
Yeah, it's right here. I found it. Okay, so you know what? I should have it in my list over here under the word staff. There it is. Yeah, so that's it. And so if you don't have a login yet, after you've attended at least 3 live sessions and you've watched several of those training videos online, then you can request a login at this link. Let's see. Let me put that on here. After you have watched most of the training videos shown above, then go fill in the info on this link. Oh, you're not watching my screen, so you don't see what I'm doing.
Yeah, I'll stop my share. Sharing.
Okay. I wonder if that means I have to click to start. Let me see if I do. Share screen, start. Okay, I think you'll see it. First, before I do that, I've got to go answer this chat. Somebody's on the website and they're asking me something. So let's see. How do I get to it? Right here, accept. So it says discount inquiry, and I'll put what class of service. So this is something, somebody that's actually on our website right now. Discount inquiry, he's at Yahoo. He doesn't have the cities, so I need to know cities and dates, please. Okay, so we want business class. But he didn't tell me the cities and dates. So while he's, 7 to 10 of February. Okay, and what we were doing over here, while I'm waiting for him to answer. He didn't tell me the city and dates yet over here, did he? Business, what cities and dates? Oh, okay. Okay, so in the chat part of this room, I'm going to put the link for getting your login once you've watched the training, and I'll put that in the group Skype also, the same place. Same thing, I mean. If you're not in the group Skype, let me know. If you don't get this Skype message just right now, let me know if you're not in the group Skype, because I need to add you to it. So you should be seeing the message in the chat part of the meeting, but you should also see this message in Skype that says be sure to watch all these videos, and then after you've watched them, here's the link. Once you hit the link, you're going to get to this staff enrollment form, and then you just fill that in. When you fill in the staff enrollment form, the job title is flight researcher, and the department is research. Okay, let me go back to this online chat to see what he's saying. Okay, so it's for 4 people. So I need to tell him a little more information. We give the adults and children the same discount price. So all 4 passengers will be at same discount price. So this is explaining what we do. We buy the miles with, we buy the tickets with our reward miles and sell them to you for a discount. You still get the lounge, extra baggage allowance, priority check-in. Our quotes often end up in your spam, so be sure and check your spam tomorrow. What's your phone number? That's just kind of some standard information that I give to everybody. Then he was asking that he's got 2 adults and 2 kids, so I'm letting him know that we give the adults and children the same discount price, so all 4 passengers are at the same discount. So if you're doing a quote and it says that it's for 2 kids and 2 adults, you just do the search for 4 people, because it's all the same to us. Kids, adults are all the same to us. Unless it's a baby in their lap that's under 2 years old, then you just ignore that. Don't search for it at all. Just ignore it, because we add that in later as a separate fee. So this is going to end up being, something that you'll be quoting, but it's not ready to quote yet, obviously. see. I'm going to copy all of this. It's not really letting me copy it very well, is it? And what I do is I just go copy it somewhere else temporarily so that I can load it into the quotes needed section properly. And so I'll just remind myself that it's 4 packs, which is passengers, one way, business class. I'm just making some notes so that when he hangs up from the website, I can remember what he said, because I didn't get the whole. So here it is. Johannesburg to Dubai. He wants it on Emirates. On Emirates. Business class. Oh, I already put that. Emirates only. So that's just some notes to myself to go back and finish that when he's done. Let's see, how come it's not clicking? I can't get back into my chat for some reason. Move this out of the way. It's not letting me click to answer him. Don't know why. Okay, he already said he'll wait my email, so I'm just going to close it then. Okay, so these are people that are on our website right now. We actually have 2 websites. One of them is called Flyer Smiles. You can see it right here. And one of them is called First Class Discount Air. So right now there's 1, 2 people on First Class Discount Air, and there's about 6 or 8 people on Flyer Smiles. We have 2 different websites where we get the requests that come in. When the requests come in, they come in to here. Let's see. Why is my computer not letting me click anywhere? What is going on? Now it is. Okay. So he's going to come in to here, if I can get it to click. And if he doesn't already belong to one of the salespeople that we have, then it'll show up here. So here he is. And so I'm just showing you, you don't have to do this. This has nothing to do with your job. I'm just showing you behind the scenes where the leads come from. So he was on the website. He was asking questions. And so I'm going to go in here and fill in the details on what he wants to make it ready for you to quote. So whichever one of you is concentrating Emirates, that's what he wants. So I'm going to copy this and put it in there. Let's see, requests, my requests. This is stuff that you do not do as a quoter. I'm just showing you what works, how it works behind the scenes. First, it comes into the website. He either chats with us or he fills it in. And then once he chats with us or fills it in, it goes to one of our salespeople who goes in and edits this and updates it to all the right information. And up here he has 2 adults and 2 children. But I don't put that for you, the quoters, because it makes no difference to you. This passenger preference information you do not see as a quoter. What you see is this details down here. So to you, it's just 4 passengers, one-way business class on Emirates only. He wants to go from Johannesburg to Auckland. And let's go see what else he said. Let's see. He wants business class. Oh, anytime between the 7th to 10th of February. Johannesburg to Auckland. He wants Emirates only. So then we're going to go over here and make it ready for the quoters on Emirates only. So it says 4 passengers, okay. And anytime between 7 to 10 of February 2017. Okay, so that tells you what he wants. And then what I'll usually do is I'll put his name so that you can find it easily. Akram wants quote for, okay, and it's a one-way. It's not one person, it's four. So that when you see 1969, that means the passenger did not fill in a date. So just ignore it if it says 1969. Ignore this, ignore this. What he really wants is the, let's see, I don't think it'll let me change this at this point. Let me try it and see. So this is going to say pending quote, which means as soon as it says pending quote, that's what puts it on your list to quote it. That's what puts it on so that you can see it. You don't see it until I change it to say pending quote. It won't be in your list ready to quote. So this one says he wants a quote for business class, and it says 12/31/17. Let me see if it'll let me change it to date February 7th to 10th. Sometimes it'll let me change it, sometimes it won't. So it's February 7th plus 2 days. Oh, it went back to 1969. See, it didn't let me change it. So if you see 1969, just go down and read the notes down here, which is really the right date. Because even though it looks like I changed it, if I hit F5 to refresh it, it's probably not really changed. It just fooled me. See, it's back to 1969 again. So you're going to ignore that, and you're going to get the date from down here. And sometimes as a salesperson, after I get this all ready to quote, I'll go over to the Skype group and let you know, hey, here's a new one, you know, for you to work on. So, so this is Emirates only. So this obviously would be only done by somebody who's specializing in either Emirates or Qantas. We can get Emirates flights from either Emirates or Qantas. So if you're the Emirates specialist, you'll work on this. And if you're the Qantas specialist, you'll work on this, because we might be able to get it from either one. So both specialists will work on it. If you're the Emirates specialist or the Qantas specialist, you should always look and see what the other specialist sent, because even though she used Qantas miles, maybe she used the same Emirates flights you're trying to use. So if she used Qantas miles to get Emirates and it's sent already, you wouldn't go send the same thing using Emirates miles, and you wouldn't send the same flights. If it's a different day or a different flight or a different connection, then yes, you would send it. So he has two choices. He might get one choice from the Qantas expert, the Qantas specialist, on a flight that leaves at 2 in the morning, and then maybe the Emirates specialist will send him a flight that leaves at 9 in the morning. And it might be a different price, different connections, different whatever. As long as it's different, you can go ahead and send it. But you wouldn't send something that's the exact same time, the exact same flight, even though you're using Qantas miles to buy it, and a different one of our quoters is using Emirates miles to buy the very same thing. You can send two different Emirates quotes, just make sure they're not the same flights on the same date for a different price. You see what I mean? Okay. Now it looks like we got some more logins for people. This Mark Anderson up here is telling me that there's a login for Nina. So Nina, before you hang up, I'll give you your login, but I'll do that privately after we finish the meeting, so that you can, so that everybody else won't see it. Actually, here, I think I can switch this to another screen so that everybody doesn't see it. Oh, so we just got the logins for Nina, Donna Lynn, Jean L, Roseanne C, and Laura S. So if you're one of those 5 people, watch your Skype, and sometime in the next hour, I'll put in your Skype what your login is. And to learn how to use your login, you need to go watch the videos. So you go to the New Quoters training library and watch these videos. If it doesn't let you in, then just click to request permission. And when you click to request permission to watch the training videos, I will get an email over here that says that you're requesting permission, and then I just have to click on that. Oh, here's one. Robert is requesting permission. So I just click on this, and it gives him permission to watch the video. So for you, Robert, you'll need to watch all those videos and then also attend at least 3 live training sessions like the one you're in now. And then after that, you can fill in that staff enrollment form and be sure and put flight researcher as the job title. And then a couple days after you do that, you'll get a login from me that I'll send to your Skype. So everybody make sure you've friended me in your Skype so that, you know, we can talk to each other through Skype. Okay, and so we just gave Robert Kino permission so he can get in now. And let me see if there's any other request for access. Request for access. If there's any more in here waiting for permission. Okay, yeah, there is. Let's see. There's one that I missed yesterday. So let me click all these so that those of you that are waiting to watch the videos can get in to see them. Okay, are Laura S. and Jean L. here in this meeting? Because it says that you're using the same computer. We cannot have 2 different people using the same IP address. So Laura S. and Jean L., one of you needs to use a computer in a different place because our software doesn't allow 2 people at the same house or the same address to be working. You have to be at a different IP address, different house, different location. Okay. So we need to decide whether it's Laura or Jean that's going to work from that location where you are. If you're in this meeting, just Skype me and let me know who's going to work. What was I talking about? Oh, I was giving these people login, or excuse me, I was giving these people permission. So I think I did this Junard one already. Let me make sure. This makes it so that you can see the videos for training. You need to watch all these videos and attend at least 3 training sessions before you ask for a login. So this one's done. And this one is for Brian. We're waiting for this one to come up. So Laura, go ahead and use the login that I'll give you, and we'll see if we can figure out who Jean is that's using the same IP. I'll Skype it to you pretty soon, Laura.
Donald?
Yeah.
This is Crystal. One quick question. On KVS, the award availability that we can use is CS plus and YS plus, right?
No, not the YS. YS is economy. So you
Okay.
want to use CS plus and FS plus, like
And FS plus.
yeah,
Okay.
F like first class. F is first class. C is business class. So you only want to use FS plus and CS plus, or FS and a number, CS and a number.
Mm.
W is premium economy and the Y is economy, and we don't use those.
Okay. All
So
right.
you only want CS plus and FS plus. And if it says CS and a squiggle, that's no good. That's a wait list.
Mm.
CS and a dash, that's no good. CS and a slash, that's no good. It has to be a plus or a number.
All right. So just FS and CS.
Yeah, yep, FS and CS, that's what you want.
Okay.
Okay, let's see now. Why am I getting no response here on Ryan's? There's one more I have to do. Mayflor Durano. Okay. So if you don't have access to the training videos, be sure and try and log into those now, and then it'll send me an email so that I can give you permission to watch them. Okay. Did that ever come up? I'm not sure if it did or not. Okay, so that's everybody that's requested access to the videos. Let me see what Crystal's other question is. Let's see, are you in this meeting, Crystal? I can help you with your KVS if it's not working. Yeah. Oh, Crystal Jane, let's see. Crystal Jane. She's having troubles with her KVS, so let's see if we can help her, and it might show you. Might show you how to fix the same problem. So, Crystal Jane. So we should have Crystal Jane show up here in a minute. We'll help her with her KVS, and it'll help you learn a bit about KVS. This is the what we call the KVS, and you don't necessarily need to use it. You can just go straight to the airline websites, but it is a shortcut if you want to learn how to use it. So are you here now, Crystal Jane? I don't see her yet. It's Crystal J. So when she arrives, if somebody sees her, let me know if she comes. Okay, so who else has a question or a problem that I can help? Oh, there's a ding ding. Maybe that's her. Are you here, Crystal Jane? Don't know what all this ding dinging is if she's not here. Okay, is there anybody else that has a question that they're stuck on? Especially if you have a login and you're having trouble logging in, or you're having trouble understanding how to do your first quote, or even if you're having trouble understanding how to do your 5th quote or your 20th quote, I'm here to help you. Stand by. I'm just helping Crystal Jane with something. So Laura Sucio, how do you pronounce it? Laura Suico? Anyway, Laura, I just Skyped your username and password to you. So to learn how to use it, be sure and watch all those training videos, and it'll show you how to use it and how to log in and so forth. And then if you still need help, you can ask me for help after you watch those training videos. But the training video should show you how to use that login, Laura, and how to use it, how to log in, how to make it work. If it doesn't work or you have trouble, then just Skype me and ask me for extra help. And I'm going to read off a list of names here of logins that I have. And if you're in this meeting, let me know so I can give you your login. So let's see, I have logins for Nina, Donna Lynn, Jean L., Roseanne C., Laura S., I just gave her hers. And I have logins for Cheryl A., Marichu S., Charlene, Robert Q., Kevin S., and Joseph C. So if you're Joseph C., Kevin S., Robert Q., Charlene A., Marichu S., Cheryl A., or Laura S., Roseanne C., Jean L., Donna Lynn B., and Nina, let me know you're here. I think Donna Lynn, let me see, Donna Lynn has been asking me today for hers, so let me go give her hers. Donna Lynn B. Okay. Crystal Jane is asking me a question. I'm not sure if she's in this meeting, but I will answer it in Skype if she's not in the meeting. She's asking me why Asia Miles does not work. And the answer is, if you're in KVS and Asia Miles is not working, you have to go to go directly to the Asia Miles website. Oh, here, let me show you what I'm typing here so you can learn along with her. So let's say that you're in KVS and something doesn't work. She's asking me, Air Canada works, but not CX, which is Asia Miles. So I'm telling her, go directly to the Asia Miles website and get your own free account, and then use your own account log on and password for Asia Miles. And this is true of any airline that does not work in KVS. It means you're using somebody else's login, and perhaps they put in the wrong password, and so it doesn't work anymore. So you really need to get your own. And so here's an example of how to get your own free account from Asia Miles as an example. And actually, all of you should do that. All of you are going to want to have your own free account. So let me Skype this to the group so everybody sees it. And then you can put that in. Okay, now I've got to ask, bear with me, I've got to ask this Jean, how come she's got... I've got to ask Jean why she's got the same IP address. So it's Jean I instead of Jean L, that's my mistake. Apparently, Jean I has the same IP address as one of the other people who have applied. So I'm not sure if you're in an apartment building maybe with the same IP. Maybe you're in a student dorm where everybody has the same shared IP address. Because we can't have two people working from the same IP address. It doesn't work in our software. Yeah. So apparently Jean Isabel and the other person we were talking about live in the same apartment building with the same IP, and we cannot have that. You have to have a different IP address. So Jean, you're going to need to get a new network or a new IP address, and then the other worker that I talked to about it can go ahead and use the existing one. So Jean's going to get a new one. Okay. Crystal Jane, to answer your question, try putting your own Asia Miles number and password in the settings for KBS CX. The other reason, Crystal Jane, that it may not be working is if they don't fly there. So I'm going to tell her, or maybe CX does not fly to the city that you are searching for in KBS. She's saying that her KBS is not working for Asia Miles. So if she already is using her own account, and that's not the problem, then maybe CX just does not fly to the city that she's searching for, and then it'll give you an error. So she's saying she already has her own KBS. I mean, she already has her own Asia Miles account, and if that's the number she's using to search with KBS, then it should work. And if it's not, then it just means that they're not flying to that city that she's trying to search for, probably. Okay. So let's see, is there any other question I can answer for somebody who's got a login but is having trouble logging in, or has a login but is having trouble making your first or second or third quote, or any quote? Just speak up and let me know if you need help with anything at all. Just waiting to see if anybody has any questions. While we're doing that, I'm going to look at my Skype and see if there's any. I want to review again the logins that I have to make sure that if any of you are listening, that I can go ahead and give it to you. So if your name is Cheryl, Maruchu, Charlene, Robert Q, Kevin S, Joseph C, or Laura, I gave you yours. Jean, we have to wait until you get a new IP. Roseanne, I have yours available if you're here. And Donna Lynn, I have yours available if you're here. And Nina, I have yours available if you're here. One moment. Just sending a message to Nina for a minute. Okay. So I'm just waiting to see if anybody has a question or something I can help you with. And I'm also going to just double check if there's any others that I need to put into the quotes needed while I'm waiting for you.
Donald, I have a question.
Okay.
Yes, about sorry, the logins that you provided, is this the login for the agent.firstclassdiscountair.com?
Yes. The one that, and it's also what you log into Gmail with, and it's also what you log into. Um, it's also what you log into your Chrome with. So you let me show you. So when you log into Chrome, you go to the 3 bars at the top right of your screen here, and you click on Settings, and then you click here to disconnect your own personal Google account and instead connect your company email. Then after you log into Chrome, you also go to Gmail and log into Gmail with that new login. It ends in .co. It does not end in .com. And then after you log into both Chrome and Gmail with your new Gmail, which ends in .co, then you go to the agent.firstclassdiscountair.com and log into there with the same thing. The first time you log into agent.firstclassdiscountair.com, it'll tell you that it's a closed system and you cannot log in here. But then you just refresh and try again, and then it'll let you in the second time. Okay. So to learn how to do that, watch all the training videos in the training library, and it'll show you that first you log into Chrome, go to the 3 bars at the top right of Chrome, go to Settings, disconnect your personal Google account, and then sign in with your company Google account, which ends in @fcda.co. That's a company Google account. It ends in @fcda.co. Then you also log into Gmail using the same thing. Then you log into agent.firstclassdiscountair.com using the same thing. Once you're logged into your company email, you can then go back and click on this upper right-hand thing and then add account and then log in as your personal email also at the same time. But you have to log into the company email first and then get into AMS using your company email, and then after that you can go back to your Gmail and click the letter at the top right, and then click Add Account, and then you could be in both your personal Gmail and your company Gmail at the same time. Let's see. I'm answering a question to Lady Shen. Okay, and Cedric's asking me to check a quote for Nevo, so let's go do that together. Does somebody else have a question first before we go check a quote together? So Cedric's asking us to check a quote that he did for Nevo, so let's go look at it. So we go to quotes needed, and then we can search with this little magnifying glass at the lower left-hand corner. Click that. Then I'll put in the name up here, Nevo, and then it finds it. And the one he's working on, oh, it looks like Anath Nevo is in here twice. Oh, he wants one from Tel Aviv to New York. Then he also wants a different one from, oh, those are both the same thing. But this one's an old one with an old date. So I'm going to get rid of this one. We don't want to be working on that one. So let me go get rid of that one first. So now I'm going to change hats and be a salesperson for a minute to go update and get that one out of there that's old. We don't want to accidentally send the quote for the old one. So we'll go find it and get it out of there first. So this is not something you do as a quoter. This is a salesperson's function. So he's asking for something December 1st. Oh, I wonder if that's this year or what. Let me go look at it. Maybe it's, oh no, it's 2016. So this one, he either bought it elsewhere or his plans have changed. And so I'm going to get that one out of here. And I'm going to just go look at the request info and see what happened. And let's see. Looks like we sent him 2 quotes back then. One was 2,800, one was 3,300, but he didn't buy it. So now he's asking for a new quote for a new date, and that's over here in quotes needed. If I refresh this, sooner or later one of those will disappear because I took it out of there just now. Takes a little minute for it to disappear though. It may still be here for a little bit. And this I'm acting like a quoter now, looking, okay, see there's only one here now, because as a salesperson I went and took it out because it's irrelevant. So instead of clicking new, I'm going to click the plus and see what's happened so far. And so what's happened so far is that Cedric sent 1 quote and Jasm's working on another one. And so let's go see what Cedric sent and look it over. 3391, he had 460 GP, and you can see why he raised it to 460. That was to get the price up to 3395, basically 3391. So instead of sending it for 3330, he just raised it to 460 to make it 3395. That's what we do. It's around 400, but then we round it off. So the trip is beginning in Israel. So that's why we used Israeli currency. So that's right. See up here, he used in the financial info, he used the Israeli currency. So that's right. And then this converted, which means he refreshed properly. Here's the selling price. Here's the gross profit. So this all looks right. Let's go see what the customer asked for. He asked for a trip starting in Tel Aviv, going to either New York or Newark, around February 19th, and then return March 4th. So let's see if he did a round trip. February 19th, March 4th. There it is, February 19th, March 4th. So it's the right dates. And this looks like he must have used Air Canada miles. Let's go see what it says in the math line. Yeah, he used Air Canada miles, which is right here. And so that's why he put AC for Nevo up here, because that's the way it's supposed to be. This says sent automatically without him changing it to say sent, so we know that it's sent. Besides that, we can click on email tracking here, and we can see that there's an email that was sent to the customer and also to the salesperson. The computer accepted them, and those are delivered. And in fact, the customer has opened it and read it already. He's opened it and looked at it 3 times, in fact. And it looks like the salesperson, myself, has opened the one that the carbon copy to me. So if I look at my email here and look for that same name, it should say right here, the one that you sent. And let's look it over. This is what the customer sees. It sends a copy to the salesperson, and I'm the salesperson for this one. So let's see what it says. First of all, he arrives at 10 a.m., leaves at noon. That looks right. Arrives at 8:25 in the morning. Leaves at 10:25. That looks right. So yeah, this looks perfect. The subject line was changed correctly. This paragraph was added correctly. And then there's a code down here that Cedric did it. This is the first part of his company login, Cedric B at FCDA.co, but that he just put the Cedric B part. He searched for 1 seat. The GP is 460. The G means a 0. And then this is a follow-up email that we sent automatically to say, did you see the quote? Do you like it? What do you think? And so then a different person will call this customer, but we got to call them when they're awake. So let's see if they're awake right now. This has nothing to do with the quoter. The quoter doesn't do the calling. The telephone person does the calling. I'm one of the telephone people, so I might call him right now if he's awake. But so I'm going to search for his name right here. And this is the current one that we're working on. he inquired on January 29th. Then his phone number is in Israel, and it's 8 in the morning in Israel. So I can go ahead and call him. So I'll double click this and I'll call him and see if he likes the quote. Again, this is something that a quoter does not do, but if you advance and become a telephone person, then you would call the customer to make sure they saw it. So the phone's ringing right now. Oh yes, Anath, this is Donald calling. I just was calling to make sure you saw the quote that I sent to you yesterday. Okay, what price range are you trying to get it for? 300. Okay, I understand completely. So hopefully we can help you better next time, and we'll let you know if we find something for a better price, okay?
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you for inquiring. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So she said that she wants something for about $1,000 less than that. So I'm going to make a note in here. This is notes that the quoter would not see, because anything under passenger preferences, the quoters do not see it, but the phone people see it. Okay, and I don't really need to tell the quoters that, because they're already automatically going to be trying to get the best price we can anyway, so I don't need to confuse the issue. Actually, I think I will put this in here in case another quoter looks at it, so they'll know that she wants something. And then instead of pending quote, this will say pending requote. And in your quotes, you can filter and look for either you can look for new ones, or you can look for the ones that need a requote. I'm going to move this out of the way here. Okay. Let me see. So I'll show you how that works here. So this last name is Nevo. She wants something for 2,200 round trips, so do not send a new quote unless we can do it for that price or less. I can already tell you we can't do it for that price, so don't try and work on this one. You'll waste your time. But I just want to show you that because it says pending requote, as a quoter, if you want to, you can work on the ones that need requotes. If I go quotes needed and I click this button at the bottom that's the magnifying glass, I can change this request status to pending requote, and that'll show me customers that have already had a quote, but they need a new quote. They need something different or better, or they need a different date or something. So each day you should go in and look for pending requote and actually work on these first, because these are people that are definitely interested. Otherwise, why are they asking for a requote? So you'd want to go in and look at these and work on these first, but you only work on the ones that are less than about 2 or 3 days old. See, this one's 1 day old. This is 55 hours old. So that's like, what, 2 or 3 days old. This one that's 83 hours old, it may or may not be worth working on, because it's getting too old. You know, nobody's going to wait for a quote that long. There's some old ones in here that we just haven't bothered to clean out. So when you go to the pending requotes, you actually only work on the first 5 of them or so, and then you stop, because otherwise they're too old. But then you can go back and change this again to all, and then you'll see all the new ones that need to be worked on. And of course, the ones that work on first are the ones that have a 0 here, and then the ones to work on next are usually the ones that have a 1 or 2 or 3. And of course, before you work on it, you click this plus symbol and see if the person who worked on it already sent the same airline that you're specializing in. If they already sent the same airline that you're specializing in, you wouldn't. How come my plus isn't working? Let me refresh and see if I can get it to work. So here's one that has one attempt already, and it says it's sent. It was sent by Medj for $2,100, so that's already a good price. And if I click edit to see what he sent, oh, he sent Delta because it has Delta in the subject line. So I already know he sent Delta. So if I'm the Delta specialist, I would skip this one. But if I'm the Air Canada specialist, I would still work on it. It'd be nice if I can send it for a good price also, but it's not necessary. Even if it's a higher price, you can still send it because it's different connections, different airlines, different option. This one, he's using 90,000 Delta miles, and he's using very low GP because he's trying to be competitive. So actually, this one's probably good enough. Probably doesn't need any more quotes because he's already sent a good price. He's already sent it with low GP. He's already got, exactly what they want. So you could skip this one. However, if you're the Air Canada specialist and you see that there are flights available and you'd like to send a quote, you can, as long as it's different flights than what he sent already, as long as it's not Delta flights again. See, he's using Delta miles, but Delta is a partner with British Air and also with this Aerolíneas Argentina. So even though he's using Delta miles, oh, look at that, he's got one direction. Oh, this is just within Europe. The Dublin to Rome part is an economy. That's okay because it's only a 3-hour flight. But the long flight that's 14 hours is in business class, so that's fine. Okay, so he did a good job on that. Okay, I'm getting close to cutting off this training meeting, so if you have a question or a concern or something you want me to show you, speak up now, because otherwise I'm going to cut off this training meeting in the next 5 minutes or so. Let me know if there's something you have on your mind that you have a question about. I'm going to check my Skype and see. Yeah, Cedric's asking if the customer does not continue with the quote, do you still get paid? Yes, you still get paid $1 whether the customer buys it or not. So yes, Cedric's asking me a question in Skype. Yes, you still earn $1 US for each quote sent, even if the customer does not buy it. So yes, you still get $1 for each quote that you send, even if the customer does not buy it. But you do not get $1 if you didn't send a quote. For example, if we're not competitive, our price is too high, somebody else already sent the same miles that you're working on, or the flights are not available, then you do not get paid $1 because you started to work on it, but you found out there was a problem. Either somebody already sent it, we're not competitive, the flights are not available, then you stop, you abandon it. The ones that you abandon, you do not get paid on. You just get paid on the ones where you click send and they go. And those you get $1 a piece. So the trick is to get, specialize in one particular airline and get really fast at it. Get really fast so that you know right away by looking at the quotes whether or not it's logical to try and do it. Because once you get good at one particular airline, you're going to be able to just look at this quotes needed list and you're going to be able to see right away which one you should work on first. If you're dealing with, let me think, what's an example? If you're dealing with Emirates, you wouldn't want to try and go from South America to Korea because you don't go through Emirates Dubai, for that. So after a while, you can just look at these and you'll just know which ones you should work on and which ones you should skip. Even if you think you should work on it, you still have to go and hit the plus and make sure that nobody else used the same kind of miles as you. But you can find that out in a matter of seconds. And then once you decide you are going to work on it, you can go to KVS and really quickly find out if this, either the flights are available or they're not. And then you just move on. And so the ones that you're not working on, you're going to find out fast that you shouldn't work on them and not waste any time on it. As you get to know that airline, you'll be able to recognize the cities. Yes, I can do those cities. You'll stick it in KVS. Yes, it looks like it's available. You'll hit the button to go to the next day and see if the next day is available. Oh, look at this. All these dates are available because these are all CS plus, not dates, but all these flights are available. They're all CS plus. So this one here, I'm going to go and do a quote on it. Okay. And let me just go see what other questions there are. Laura, tell me your IP address so that I can get it unblocked. I'm answering a question to Cedric right now. Okay. It looks like Laura May. I'm talking to the IP guy because apparently 3 of you live in the same building with the same IP address and it's causing problems. Cedric, Laura, and the other one are all at the same IP address, so it doesn't work to have 3 of you at the same IP address. So I'm just answering Laura's questions about why she can't log in. It's because Cedric and Laura and that other person are all in the same apartment building or residential building. Okay, I see. Okay. Let me just ask him about that. Yeah, I'm just helping people in Skype right now. So apparently in the Philippines, even though you're in different cities, you can end up with the same IP address somehow. We'll have to figure out what to do about that. You're not even in the same town, and yet you have the same IP address, three of you. Does anybody know why that is in the Philippines? Why would you have the same IP address if you're not even in the same town? Okay, Crystal Jane, let me look at your screen and see if I can help you to get Asia Miles fixed. So click on the share screen.
All right.
just
Can you see
finishing
it now?
something up in Skype. Yeah, give me a second though. I just need to finish up something I'm typing in Skype.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So you have CX Singapore to Toronto.
Oh, it's
4th.
working now.
That's weird. All you
Yeah.
have to do is take your car to a mechanic and it starts.
Yeah, it
Yeah, and
started
by the
working.
way, change it so it doesn't say business class on the left. You should have it
Mhm.
saying the bottom one, business or first. So click that arrow, and
Okay.
the bottom one, business and first.
Okay.
Okay, because you always want to check both business and first.
Okay. So I think it all is working now.
Yeah, I don't know why. It could be. Did you change the cities? It could be they didn't fly to the other city.
Well, actually, when I checked this last night, there is a result, but earlier I still get the error
Okay.
message which I sent you earlier.
Okay.
But for now, it's working.
Yeah.
Here, this is the exact error message.
Okay. So what this is saying is that they're objecting to the fact that you're doing too many searches on Asia Miles. So they know that they think that you're a robot or a machine. So therefore, you have to use a different CX account for a while. And so this one, is this one your account? Okay. So you've done so many searches that, see, it says the engine velocity has been reached. That means you've done too many searches. They think you're a robot. So you're going to have to either sign up another Asia Miles account, maybe for your brother, your mother, your uncle, somebody else, different address, different different everything, and sign up for another account, and then use the other account whenever this tells you that.
Okay.
Okay, and if that still doesn't work, then you should use a different airline as your specialty for a few days until it starts working again. So if you can't solve it, then you just start using a different airline as your specialty for a few days. So eventually you'll learn 2 airlines. You'll learn Asia Miles, and then when you can't work on Asia Miles, you'll work on, let's say, Qantas, or work on Air Canada or Delta or something else. So you'll just have to use 2 airlines as your specialty if you cannot solve the problem.
Okay.
You could go to the website and see if it'll let you do it on the website, even though it does not let you do it on KVS. You could just search directly on the website.
Yes.
And you know, because you don't have to use KVS. You can just use the website alone if you want. Okay, let me go see what our IT guy is saying about the login problem for the people that have the same IP.
Okay, boss. So for now, I'll just use the website.
Yeah, just use the website, and eventually maybe sign up another account for your mother or your brother or somebody, and try using that.
Okay, boss. So that's it for now?
That's it. Yep. See you later.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Unless somebody else has another question, if you have another question, I'll help you now. If you don't, I'm going to cut off this training meeting in the next couple of minutes. So I'm just talking to the IT guy as to how we can solve this problem that some of you have the same IP address, even though you're in different towns. Anybody else have any questions before you go?
None for me.
Okay, bye-bye then. We'll see you tomorrow. I'll be here your time at 6 a.m. Philippine time, and again at 12:30 noon time tomorrow, Philippine time.
All right. Thank you.